So most of the conversations I've had in the last week have been about AI and AI vocals and AI artwork, which is starting to flood the zone. And some of it is obvious and some of it isn't as obvious as pointed out by some people I've been talking to as well. Actually, Wooly just made a great story about it that I like, because he is asking the question, where is the line? Without even mentioning AI, I remember years and years and years ago, I was working in the studio with Matt Zoe, and him and I were working on a ton of music at the time together. And we were spending so much time working that we were figuring out stuff together. And one of the things we figured out was a better way to sidechain our project. But it was very tedious. And because it was such a cool method, which I can tell you guys about some other time, which I don't even think I use anymore. But the point is that it would have required us to go back through all of our projects and redo all the routing. It was just going to take forever. I remember saying to him, I was like, man, I wish we just had a guy who was sitting here in the studio and we'd be like, hey, now that we've shown you what we did, can you just go through all the projects and do all that for us? And Matt said something that I remember to this day. And he said, that's how it starts. And I knew what he meant, meaning that the process of creating music is a process. And if you start letting other people do it or other tools do it, then what are you doing? Even if it's something tedious, even if it's something you don't want to do. If everything is at arm's reach, and if you can just click a button to make it happen, that's how it starts. It makes you ask the question, what are we doing here as artists? I think it's a great question, right? I think we can all kind of see that the zone is going to be continually flooded with more stuff that passes the smell test, with the new integration of Splice into Ableton Live as of today. Now you don't have to go through the few extra steps there was to browse a catalog of sounds that everybody else has access to. Now you can just literally go over to your browser and access the hive mind of samples, right? Where's the line? What are we doing here? I like leaving that as an open-ended question for y'all. What you think, what do you think, But just something to think about. The process is super important, because in the process of figuring out how to do things is how you develop your sound. But beyond that, the process of creating art is a process of trying to understand the world and understand other people, and most importantly, understanding yourself.